Season 3, episode 16, picking up where we left off after the end of Piper Maru. We got Apocrypha.
Apocrypha is the series of texts that are like considered non-canon to the Bible. Yeah. They're like the extra...
The appendages?
Like the extra biblical, what are they called?
The appendices, no? That's for the, that's books, for Lord of the Rings.
Extra books.
Oh, other books?
Like the Book of John or whatever.
So the Silmarillion and like...
Yeah, right.
I know the Lord of the Rings. I don't know anything about the book. I could give a shit. Okay. We get this opening here, which is really cool. We get to see Daddy Mulder and the Smoking Man, young, talking to some survivor of that ship, and we get to kind of witness it through his testimonial.
Yep.
They get together and form a mutiny. Mm-hmm. And it was cool. It was cool to see a flashback like that. And also another nice little touch on it. I don't care how silly it might have looked. I like it. Is them using the Smoking Man's voice over the young actor.
I actually really like when shows and movies do that, especially when the actor has such a recognizable voice.
Because the guy who's playing Mulder's father definitely used his own voice.
Yeah, it was just his regular voice.
Because they could have done that with Mulder's father as well.
Sure. No, but the Smoking Man, like, we know his voice. He's got a very distinct voice.
Yeah.
And I think it looked fine, honestly. I don't think it, was that weird looking.
I feel like in 30 years of him smoking, his voice would be different.
Probably.
It'd be way more raspy.
But it's okay.
Yeah. So Krychek and Mulder are driving. They get, pulled over, and they're going to get killed, but Krychek goes nuclear.
Nuclear? Oh, yeah. Nuclear.
I feel like Mulder is in the vicinity that he should be sick. I don't know what the range of this thing is, but
the fact that he illuminates
he can
his
see
face.
it. Yeah,
I agree. I think he should have. I don't know about dead, but he at least should have something. Yeah, because the only thing that's blocking them is so a few feet of distance, and then a pillar of some overpass.
Yeah, don't forget what Mulder was wearing though. Plot armor.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He wears the plot armor all the time.
Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah.
He sure does. Yeah, if you see the light
I think
that close.
That's kind of like if you see the mushroom cloud, if it goes over your thumb, right? You're screwed.
Oh, you learned that from Fallout, the TV show we watched?
No, I learned that from the games.
Isn't that what the game? That's what the guy's doing with the thumb? Yeah.
Yep.
It's cool. You think that's true? It's probably bullshit.
I think it is true, but I don't know. I'm lying.
It just seems like so, I don't know. How far away does your thumb have to be? What if you have really short arms?
You reach it out. And
but what if you have really short arms? Or what if you have really long arms? They're not accounting for how long your arms are.
They're not accounting for
right? Because if you go like this versus like this, it's a much bigger range of view.
I don't know
what I'm saying?
Somebody should tell us in the comments.
I think I'm okay. I can't see it.
I'm fine. I'm not fine. Actually, I'm okay. I got a little bit more time.
Hold on, let me check. Nope, can't see nothing. I'm all right. It sounds like bullshit. I think that if you see a mushroom cloud, you should fucking probably say your piece.
Run away as fast as you can.
No, if you see a mushroom cloud in this country, like we're in right now, or pretty much anywhere at this point in time, it's over. Freaking bombs are hitting everywhere.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's always Endgame. Remember freaking War Games with Matthew Broderick? The way they beat the computers by showing them that there's never a winner to nuclear war because it always ends the same way with the total destruction of planet Earth.
That's awful.
It's how they beat the machine because it's they're trying to do a logic chokehold on it to make it stop what it's doing. It thinks it can win, and then it's makes him run a simulation. It's and no matter what it does, it always is a zero-sum game.
Right? Good thing Mulder has plot armor, so he never has to worry about.
No, he'd be fine. He could stand at ground zero, and he'd be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could. We're writing. I mean, it's fiction. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
So one thing that I have now made a joke about this show, and probably will keep it up for the rest of the show. I had to rewind the scene just to prove it to them, like how funny it was to me. Is they get a blood sample.
Oh yeah.
And they test the blood sample, and Scully reads the report, and she says like some attributes about him, and that his blood is like B positive, and then she like pulls it, like, you know, puts this thing down. She's like, we didn't learn anything new that we didn't already learn from the description that the waitress gave us.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? How did the waitress know his blood type was B positive?
Vampire waitress.
It was so funny to me. I was like, that definitely
the way that's
was a
written,
goofy line.
Yeah, because she's obviously meaning like the physical attributes, because the blood type isn't that relevant yet.
But it would be.
Unless they find another blood sample that they would be like comparing it to. But yeah.
Having a blood sample
she
so much better.
The line should have just been like, the only thing that we learned is that he's a B positive.
Yeah, like the only thing that we got from here is his blood type, and that's not going to help us.
Right.
You know, something like that.
Yeah, it's funny. I think
nothing else we learned.
It's just kind of an overlooked line, I think.
So like every time they talk about like blood now, we've had it in a couple episodes since. I'm like, oh, they must have got that from a waitress.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, it's stupid. It's nothing. I don't care at all. I know what she meant, but I had to rewind it because I was like, wait a minute, what? But I did sit there and like kind of jokingly play the scene out in my head where she like described him and his blood type to the cops.
Oh, right.
She's like, he's about 6'2", blonde hair, wore glasses, and his blood type was B positive.
They're just
huh?
They're just like, all right.
And then you'd hear the music, do 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 do, because that would be an X-File.
That would be the
X-File
is the waitress.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got Skinner tells Scully that he recognizes the guy who shot him.
Yep.
Scully figures out that this is the same guy who axed her sister Melissa.
Yep.
And so now she's out for blood.
Yeah, she's very vengeful in this.
Yeah, when she
episode,
catches him.
But yeah, she realizes that it doesn't matter if she kills him because it's not going to bring her sister back. And it doesn't really make her feel that much better.
They always do this in movies.
It's
this
true,
is such
though.
a movie trope.
It is very true.
It's not 100. No, okay.
I mean, yes,
it's
it is
true
true
for
in
some
that
people.
nothing you do, like if somebody kills your loved one, nothing you do to that person will bring your loved one back.
But not everybody is the same way. Not everybody is going to have the same reaction to getting vengeance. There's going to be some people who genuinely feel like a level of closure. And then there's other people who are going to be like, I feel worse. And then there's other people who are going to be like, I don't feel any different at all.
This lines up totally with how I would think Scully would react, though.
But I feel like in almost every movie we watch, it's always like, I thought it was going to make a difference. It didn't.
Well, yeah, because ultimately it doesn't make a difference, though.
If someone brutally murdered you
objectively,
and raped you and did horrible things to my kids and everything, and I killed them, I'm pretty sure I'd feel a certain level of satisfaction.
But the thing with that, though, is that it's like, yes, like maybe you get some satisfaction, but it's like not only now do you still have to like contend with the fact that all those things happen and you're missing people, but now you also have to deal with the fact that you killed somebody, which most people that are in like, you know, that are relatively mentally healthy, you know, you can't, that's not an easy thing for the human brain to deal with.
But to me,
at least not anymore. Maybe back in the day when people were killing each other all the time to survive. But, like, now, especially in, like, you know, modern, like, Western countries,
but this person,
you would never kill somebody.
This person wouldn't be a person to me.
Yeah, well.
They'd just be a target. They would just be something that needed to be expelled from this earth. And but
you don't know. You don't know what would end up happening after you did it. You might end up still having some morality crisis and, you know, be plagued by that.
I think the reality of the situation for even someone like me who would emotionally feel it, that's why you want the vengeance, right? It's because you care so much. The focus of the, like, revenge would distract you from the pain.
Right.
And I think a lot of that is like what drives you even more so. But then once it's done,
yeah, exactly.
then you are kind of like having to sit there and really now fully finally deal with it.
Yeah.
But you can deal with it a tad different because you can be like, well, at least, you know, justice was served. Right? You know what I mean? It would still suck terribly, but I'd be like, at least I got the motherfucker. He's not out there doing it to anyone else. You know what I mean? So the one comfort I would have would be no one else is going to have to feel like me because I put an end to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For him. Other people are going to do it because we have murderers all the time. And there are always going to be people who do that kind of shit. But, you know, when Scully does have him dead to rights on the ground and she's like, did you kill my sister? Like really angry. This is probably the angriest I've ever seen her, which we should. That should be the angriest we've ever seen her.
Absolutely.
Because she's confronting her sister's killer. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, but at the end of the day, let's be really clear and honest about this. Nobody knows how they would react unless they've done it. Unless they've lived through it. I have no idea what I would actually do or do not do. I think I would do something, but you never know. Sometimes you're faced with things and you're like, oh, 100% this is what I do. And then you don't do it. I know myself pretty well, but I've never been through anything crazy like that.
No, I think those are situations that are like, I don't know. I don't think you can prepare for how you would react in them. No. But I think this makes sense for how Scully is in the show, that she would ultimately not kill him. But it is very sad.
It is. We get the lone gunman here. This is a ridiculous scene. They have to, of course, be super freaking ridiculously theatrical and over the top.
Yes.
With how they're
ice skating.
Yeah, they go ice skating. You've got Langley skating the opposite direction on the ice. Yeah. I feel like that would bring a lot of attention to you. As someone who grew up playing ice hockey and having went to the rink for free skate tons of times just to, like, you know, get out there and stretch my legs and just skate on my off days from playing hockey. You don't skate against the current like that. There's always like you go here, and then the figure skaters who kind of like train, they go in the center, and then everyone is on the outside, kind of going in a circle. If anyone's going around in the other direction, you'll have people whistling and being like, "Stop! Go back the other way." There's a flow to it. So him skating in the wrong direction would draw so much attention to them.
This is like a really tiny ice skating,
very small,
like rink though. Like it's like an outdoor.
This is an outdoor one, yeah.
It's tiny, but yeah, they're all very conspicuous about what they're doing. And Frohickey is the one that goes over to the locker and.
Why would they send the shortest guy? What if it was a tall? They don't know what locker it is, right? So maybe it was up here and he can't even reach it. You gotta send Langley. He's the tallest.
I know,
right?
But he gets it.
He does.
And they bring it back to Mulder in the car, and they're like, "This is what you got to use us for," because they like doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then of course Mulder opens it, and it's empty. So.
Yeah, and then they take him back. They open it up. Sorry, we're already there. They're back at their place, and you know they're going through all the different methods because they find an impression in the envelope. And they're like going back and forth of all these insane techniques with all these like updated technologies. And of course, Mulder takes a graphite pencil and puts it over a freaking piece of paper and just does the pencil trick that you've seen in 6,000 movies.
Yeah.
And then he's like, here. And you know, like he hands the pencil to Frohickey and he's like, you know, be careful with this. It's a sophisticated piece of machinery or whatever. And Froggy's like staring at it like, whoa. Like the fact that they're trying to sell me that not Langley, Byers, or Frohickey has ever heard of the freaking like pencil trick.
No, I don't think that's what they're trying to do. I think that they have heard of it, but I think that they are like constantly, they're just like, they're trying to outthink each other. And that's what it is. And Mulder just does the simplest thing. Yeah. And when Frohickey's looking at it, I think that's more of like a
oh, we're
like,
dumbasses.
Duh. Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that better because it just does not work for me.
No, yeah, I don't think that they. I think they do know. Yeah, I think it's
everyone's done that in their life.
Yeah, they just they get in their way of, figuring things out because they're like trying to be complicated.
But they always do it in movies like no one's ever seen it before.
It's true. That's very true.
It's always one guy that's like, I learned this trick.
I know.
And they do it and people are like, what?
I know.
But to be fair, I mean, if there were children, I would buy it. But adults, maybe it depends on the time period. Because by the time the 90s rolled around, when I was like, a teenager, maybe it was like common knowledge. But if it's a movie from like the 50s or something, maybe not so much. But like modern, like in the 90s, no way.
Yeah.
Not an adult. No freaking way. I'm not buying it. But I like you. Yeah, I like you. I do like you.
Oh,
I like you a whole lot. I would even maybe say I love you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And let's see. Krychek expels all the oil from his body. This is actually a really creepy shot of his eyes pouring. That's got to be obviously like a mannequin or something.
Some kind, yeah.
But it looks wild.
It does look wild. It's pretty gross looking.
It is very gross.
It's nasty, and he's crying, and it's just flowing out.
That's why they call him Krychek.
Yeah, he's crying, and it's just flowing out of his eyes and nose and mouth and.
Yeah, it's very well. I was going to say, it kind of reminds me of Prince of Darkness a little bit, but there's something else that has this, where the, black oil, comes from the Evil Dead does it a little bit, Evil Dead 2, but I'm trying to think, there's something else that where, black oil emits from all the orifices like that. I don't know.
I like it though.
Yeah, and we also get Krychek is stuck in this contained room.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, so we definitely have not seen the last of him.
No, we haven't.
But he's kind of like in a saw trap at the end here.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Someone's like, game over.
I know, just leaving him there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we also get a really funny. Well, it's unintentionally funny, I think. But Mulder and Scully go to this whatever warehouse place because they're looking for the craft.
Yeah.
And they see the dead guys that have the radiation burns on them, and then the smoking man shows up with a bunch of guys military dudes, and they're dragging Mulder and Scully out, and Mulder's like, I know, we saw what was in there, and the smoking man's just like, you saw nothing.
You saw nothing.
But the way he says
why didn't they try that before?
The way he says it is so funny. He's just so blatantly trying to gaslight him.
Oh, sure.
It's just such a funny interaction because it's so Mulder is it's both of their personalities and roles in the show. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just down to the very simplified essence of what it is, which is Mulder's I saw it, I know the truth, and the smoking man's no, you didn't see anything.
I kind of call bullshit on this scene, to be completely honest, because the smoking man already killed Mulder through freaking, this thing in the train car with him and killed him.
Right.
He already went to those lengths. Mulder survived, but at this point, once they've already committed to that, and they were even gonna die, he was gonna die again in that other train car.
Yeah.
Once they have him dead to rights like that,
yeah,
I just feel like they would have killed Scully and Mulder right there.
That's definitely one part of the show, because even in the first episode or first seasons, when it's why are they keeping them alive? Mulder keeps getting in the way of all this stuff, and there's they have this explanation, and it's mostly because of his dad's connection, I guess.
Well, it's also the whole
now,
it's the whole you turn one man's crusade into,
right, which is I can kind of buy it, but now, as you said, when they've already tried to kill him, it's I don't know. I need to see what, because I don't remember, but I feel they need to reinvigorate why Mulder and Scully are not just being killed.
Yeah, I agree.
When they're caught, especially by this the shadow government people, not by the other stuff that happens, but specifically the shadow government stuff.
Sure, because they're already trying to kill Krychek. They're already trying to. They already tried to kill Mulder. They've already had Scully they killed Scully's sister because they were trying to kill her. Right, like they already committed to killing her, so now he has them dead to rights again, and he's afraid of the organization that he lied to, to like cover up the fact that he screwed up, and he has them right there. He would just kill them.
100%.
So, like to me, it's just I don't know. There's not a good enough explanation currently of why Mulder and Scully are just not being killed.
Yeah.
So it's an issue, but it's not really. I mean, it's the X-Files. I think you just say. It's just cuz.
It's their show.
Scully's sister's killer is killed to keep him quiet, of course.
Yep.
So Scully didn't have to kill him. They did it for him.
Yeah.
But it's like, if they're just going to kill him, why not just kill Scully and Mulder then, too? Right?
Yeah, it's
That
true.
just kind of adds to it. So it is what it is. All right. That's that. Anything more?
Nope. That's everything.
All right. So, where will we see Krychek again?
Where, oh, where?
We shall see, but that motherfucker is definitely coming back. I actually know for 100% positive he's coming back, because I remember one attribute of him when he comes back. I don't know if that's later on, and if it's not the next time we see him, but there is something about him that changes. That's all I'll say. But that's later on. Anyway, all right. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.